You've seen the claims. This penny is worth $1 million. This quarter can make you rich overnight. But is it true? The truth is, most of it is completely fake. Exaggerated prices, misleading hype. That's what we're here to expose. Welcome to Rare Coin Collecting. We reveal the real value, real history, and true rarity of coins that actually matter. From wheat pennies to rare state quarters. We cover it all with facts, not fiction. We explore coins in detailed series, one country at a time. And right now, we're focused on rare US coins. Subscribe now and discover the truth behind the coins. They say it's just a quarter, but this one, this 2000 Massachusetts state quarter with a Philadelphia mint mark, has actually sold for over $3,500. Yes, you heard that right. One regular-looking quarter, worth 25 cents at face value, went for thousands of dollars, and it wasn't covered in gold. It wasn't encased in diamonds. It was just sitting in someone's old jar for years. That kind of number spreads fast. Suddenly, social media is flooded with people claiming their coins are worth tens of thousands. Everyone wants in, but here's the truth they don't tell you. Most of those coins, worth pocket change, the real ones, the ones that actually bring in the big bucks, are rare for a reason. So let's get to the bottom of it. Why did this Massachusetts quarter sell so high? What makes it different from the rest? And what exactly should you be looking for if you're hoping to strike gold in your own home? Let's take a closer look. The Massachusetts quarter was released in 2000 as part of the 50 State Quarters program. Over 628 million of these were minted at the Philadelphia Mint. That's a huge number. So how does one single quarter from such a large batch suddenly skyrocket in value? It all comes down to one word: condition. The $3,500 coin? It was graded MS68, mint state, near flawless. That grade alone multiplies the value by a massive amount. Why? Because fewer than a handful of coins survive in that condition. Most coins you find in circulation have scratches, nicks, or signs of wear. But an MS68? That's a showroom piece. Let's slow down here. If you just found a Massachusetts 2000p quarter in your pocket, that's not enough. You need to know where to look and what to look for. Most of these valuable quarters weren't found in stores or banks. They were tucked away in places people forgot. Start in the obvious spots. Old jars on the kitchen counter. That drawer in the bedroom nobody opens anymore. The coin bank your kids stopped using. An old purse hanging behind the closet door. Even inside your car's cup holder. People toss coins in there and never look back. Once you've got some coins to examine, here's what you need to do. First, check the mint mark. You're looking for a small P on the coin's front, right under the words "In God We Trust." That's the Philadelphia Mint. Next, look at the condition. Use a magnifying glass if you can. No heavy scratches, no dullness. A shiny, crisp coin is worth inspecting further. Now, if the coin looks good, it's time to think about grading. Professional grading is done by companies like PCGS or NGC. You send your coin in. They'll evaluate it on a 70-point scale. A grade of MS60 to MS65 is good, but MS67 or MS68, that's where the real money is. And get this, an MS68 2000p Massachusetts quarter is so rare, fewer than 20 are known to exist. That's why one sold for over $35, because collectors know how difficult it is to find one in that shape. But here's the kicker. Even if your coin isn't a perfect MS68, it still might be valuable. Some coins with unique die errors or striking mistakes are worth hundreds, even in lower grades. So always examine both sides carefully. Look for doubling on the text. Check the rim for any odd spacing or misalignment. A small flaw can lead to a big payday. Once you believe you've got something special, don't rush. Do your homework. Take clear photos of your coin in natural light. Join a coin collecting group on Facebook or Reddit. Post the pics. Ask for opinions. You'll be amazed at how many experienced collectors are willing to help. Next step, get it graded. PCGS or NGC are the gold standard. Yes, there's a cost, but for a coin potentially worth thousands, it's worth the investment. After grading, you can sell your coin through reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions, or even through eBay, but only if your coin has the proof of grading to back it up. And remember this, no coin goes viral on its own. It's always a combination of rarity, condition, and timing. You've got to be patient. You've got to be smart. But most of all, you've got to keep looking. Because quarters like this, they aren't only in collector books or private vaults. They're sitting in forgotten piggy banks. They're hiding in old shoeboxes in the attic. They're scattered in glove compartments, coin trays, couch cushions. And if you're the one who finds one, you'll never look at spare change the same way again. This is rare coin collecting, and we're here to cut through the hype, show you the truth, and help you spot the real value. If you're a coin investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about knowing what actually matters, then this channel is made for you. We're on a mission to spread real, authentic coin knowledge. No hype, no clickbait. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and keep digging. Because the next rare quarter could be sitting just a few feet away. People are saying these Massachusetts quarters are worth hundreds, even thousands. But is that real, or just more YouTube coin hype? Here's what's actually happening. One single Massachusetts state quarter with the D mint mark, and that's Denver, in pristine, top-tier condition, sold at a professional auction for well over $1,000. That's not an exaggeration. That's a real auction record. But that doesn't mean yours is worth that much. And that's where things get tricky. Some people see a 2000 D quarter, look it up online and find those high sales, then immediately think they've hit the jackpot. But those coins weren't just pulled from pocket change. They were rare, perfect, and verified by experts. So let's break it down. What actually makes a Massachusetts state quarter valuable? First, the basics. This quarter was released in 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Massachusetts was the 6th state honored, and the design features the famous Minuteman, standing proudly in front of the state's outline with a star marking Boston. At first glance, it doesn't look rare at all. In fact, nearly 620 million of these coins were minted in Denver alone. That's more than $500 million. So how can something so common be worth anything? Here's the truth. Almost every single one of those 620 million quarters is only worth 25 cents. But a tiny number, and we mean tiny, have something special. And that's where the real value comes in. Let's talk about condition. The quarters that sell for hundreds or thousands have to be mint state, usually graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, and that kind of condition is almost never found in circulation. These are coins with zero wear, sharp details, flawless luster, and perfect surfaces. Not even the faintest scratch. Only a handful of 2000 D Massachusetts quarters have ever been found in that condition. That's why a single one can go for more than 1,000 at auction. One example, an MS68 sold for over $1,500. But it's not just about condition. There are errors and varieties too. A few Massachusetts quarters have been found with struck-through errors, double dies, or even off-center strikes. These mint mistakes make them incredibly rare and valuable. But again, they're very hard to find. Most people will never see one. Still, that doesn't mean you shouldn't look. Because here's the thing. Valuable coins can show up anywhere. In your change, your junk drawer, your childhood piggy bank. Some of the most valuable coins ever found were sitting in kitchen jars or dusty boxes in grandma's attic. So don't overlook your own home. Check your couch cushions, desk drawers, glove compartment, the old mason jars in the basement. Ask your parents, your grandparents. You'd be surprised where coins hide for decades. And if you do find a 2000 D Massachusetts quarter in good shape, here's what to do. Step 1, don't clean it. Never clean a coin. It destroys the value instantly. Step 2, look at it under good lighting. If it looks flawless with sharp details and no scratches, you might have something. Step 3, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Yes, there's a cost, but serious collectors and buyers won't trust your word. They trust certified grades. And if it turns out to be rare, either from condition or an error, then you're looking at real money, hundreds, maybe even over $1,000. But be careful. There's a lot of false info online. Some videos show beat-up circulated quarters and say they're worth a fortune. That's just not true. No collector is paying top dollar for a scratched-up coin from someone's pocket. So here's the bottom line. Most 2000 D Massachusetts quarters are only worth face value. But the rare few, the ones in top condition, or with mint errors, they're the ones that sell for the big bucks. And those coins are still out there. They're sitting in jars, hiding in old cash boxes, stuck between couch cushions, waiting. The question is, will you be the one to find it? If you're a collector, investor, or just someone curious about real coin values, this is the kind of truth you won't hear on hype channels. We tell it straight with real facts and real sales. No exaggerations. Stick with us, because we're just getting started. And if you've ever found a rare coin or have questions about grading, drop a comment below. We're here to help. Thanks for watching. This is Rare Coins, your home for real, honest coin collecting knowledge. This quarter once sold for more than $1,000. Yep, a 2000s Massachusetts state quarter, and you wouldn't believe how many people still have this coin just lying around in their homes without realizing what it could be worth. But don't let the hype confuse you. There's a massive difference between a common state quarter and one that's worth real money. Most people scroll past videos that scream "this coin sold for $10,000" without realizing those numbers are usually based on one rare graded example, not the stuff you pull from your pocket change. So here's the truth about the 2000s Massachusetts quarter and why it's still one of the most misunderstood state quarters out there. First of all, the S mint mark. That S means it was minted in San Francisco. And coins from this mint are often proof coins, not made for circulation. They were specially struck with a higher level of detail and often sold in collector sets. So if you found one of these in your change, that's already unusual. But just having an S doesn't mean it's valuable. Here's where things get interesting. The 2000s Massachusetts proof quarter came in two types, Clad and silver. The Clad version is made of copper nickel, while the silver version is 90% silver. If you've got the silver one, it's already worth more than face value, just based on the metal content alone. But condition is everything. A scratched up silver proof? Maybe worth a couple bucks, but a flawless one, graded PR70 deep cameo, by a company like PCGS or NGC, that's where the real value starts showing up. One of these perfect PR70 silver proof Massachusetts quarters once sold for well over $1,000 at auction. That wasn't hype. That was a real sale. But how does a coin get to that price? It comes down to three things: scarcity, demand, and certified grade. So what should you be looking for? First, check for the S mint mark. You'll find it just below "In God We Trust." Then look at the finish of the coin. Proof coins usually have a mirror-like background and frosted details. If yours looks like a regular circulation coin, it's not a proof. Next, what kind of condition is it in? Use a flashlight. Tilt the coin under the light. Can you see any scratches, nicks, or haze? If it's flawless, or close to it, it might be worth sending for grading. But here's where most people go wrong. They find a shiny coin and assume it's rare. Don't guess. If it's the silver proof version and looks perfect, get it weighed. A silver quarter will weigh about 625 grams, compared to 5.67 grams for the Clad one. Now, where do people usually find these coins? Not just in coin rolls. We're talking kitchen drawers, old plastic tubs, shoe boxes in the attic, jars in the basement. Even those old proof sets passed down by a grandparent. If someone in your family ever collected coins, or just had a habit of saving shiny ones, there's a good chance something valuable is sitting around unnoticed. If you think you found something special, here's what to do. 1. Don't clean it. That can ruin the value instantly. 2. Check the weight and finish. Use a small digital scale and a magnifier. 3. Compare your coin to real graded examples on PCGS or NGC websites. And 4. Consider submitting it to a grading service if it looks flawless. But remember, not every proof coin is worth grading. Grading fees can range from $20 to $70, so only go that route if the coin is truly exceptional. And one last twist. There are also some known errors with these quarters, like doubled dies and off-center strikes. They're rare, but if you spot anything unusual in the design, extra outlines, shifted lettering, incomplete rims, it might be worth even more. So don't rush past this coin if you see it again. Because even though most 2000s quarters won't make you rich, that one flawless silver proof sitting in a dusty drawer, that could be your sleeper hit. We're not here to hype coins, we're here to teach real value. So if you're a coin investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about knowing what actually matters, this channel is made for you. You're watching Rare Coin Collecting, where we bring the truth back to numismatics. And if you want more real insights on what your coins are actually worth, not just clickbait, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and check the pinned comment for more state quarters you should never ignore. People are saying this coin sold for hundreds, even over $1,000. And guess what? They're not lying. But what they're not telling you is why. Right now, the 2000s Massachusetts silver proof quarter is exploding in popularity. Some listings are showing prices that make people jump out of their chairs. Recently, one of these coins sold for more than $4,300, and that wasn't even a unique error. It was just a top-grade example in stunning condition. Yeah, over $1,300 for a single quarter. That's the kind of money people dream about finding in their pocket change. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's something you've got to understand about these silver quarters. First of all, they were never meant for everyday use. This 2000s Massachusetts coin was only minted as part of special silver proof sets. That means if you ever find one in your home, it didn't come from your wallet. It came from someone who once bought a collector's set and either forgot about it or passed it down. Now here's where things get even crazier. These proof coins were struck on 90% silver planchets, and the quality of the strike is off the charts. We're talking sharp details, mirrored surfaces, and that rich, deep frost on the devices. And in perfect condition, graded PR70 by PCGS or NGC. These are the ones hitting those four-figure price tags. But let's pause for a second, because while the hype is real, most people are out here making videos without ever explaining what actually makes these coins valuable. First, condition is everything. If the coin is scratched, hazy, or has fingerprints, forget it. You need a pristine proof coin, straight from a set, preferably untouched. Second, grading is critical. A raw coin might look flawless to you, but unless it's professionally graded, serious buyers won't touch it for top dollar. If you do find one of these coins and think it's in great shape, your first move should be to send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Now here's the question you should be asking. Where do you even look for one? You're not going to find this in regular change, but you might find it in old silver proof sets stored in a closet, attic, basement, or storage box. Maybe it was a gift from a relative. Maybe your parents or grandparents picked up a set from the US Mint in the early 2000s and forgot about it. Check desk drawers, old lockboxes, curio cabinets, places where you keep souvenirs, medals, or family heirlooms. And here's something most people don't know. These silver-proof coins sometimes get mixed into other junk silver collections. So if someone passed down silver coins to you, dig through those bags. Don't skip anything. And one more tip. When you're checking if your coin is silver, look for that S mint mark and listen carefully. Real silver coins have a different sound when dropped lightly on wood, a kind of high-pitched ring, but don't rely on that alone. If the edge of the coin has no orange or copper stripe and the surface is mirror-like, with frosted images, that's your silver-proof quarter. Still not sure? We recommend using a scale. A silver proof will weigh slightly more than a standard Clad quarter, about 6.3 grams. Let's say you find one in amazing condition. What do you do next? Take high-quality photos in natural light. Don't clean it ever. Look up the values for graded examples. And if you think it has a shot at grading PR69 or PR70, consider submitting it. That's where the big returns come in. And if you're holding a PR70 Deep Cameo 2000s Silver Massachusetts quarter, you're looking at one of the best-selling coins in the State Quarters series. But don't just stop with this one. There are 56 quarters in this series, and several silver proofs from different years have hit major auction numbers. Here on Rare Coins, we break down what's real, what's hype, and how to actually profit from coin collecting without falling for fakes, fantasy errors, or viral nonsense. If you've got silver proof sets lying around, this is your sign to check them. That little coin in the black velvet case might just be worth hundreds or more. And if you're a serious collector, investor, or just someone hoping to turn a lucky find into real money, then this channel was made for you. So before you go searching, make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell so you never miss the truth about rare coins. You may have one sitting right in your kitchen drawer and not even realize what it's worth, because one version of the 1999 D Georgia State Quarter, yes, the Denver Mint version, didn't just sell for a few bucks. It sold for over $7,200. Now that's not some average quarter pulled out of spare change. That's a sharply struck, high-grade specimen with details so pristine, it left collectors speechless. And yet, this same coin is out there, still hiding, still turning up in pocket change. Old piggy banks, forgotten coffee cans, even taped inside birthday cards from the 90s. But here's the twist: most people never talk about the 1999 D Georgia quarter is not rare in general. In fact, over 488 million of them were minted. That's nearly 500 million coins. So why would one of them be worth thousands? Let's break it down. The secret is in the condition. Grading matters more than most people realize. That $7,200 Georgia quarter, it was graded MS 68 by PCGS. That's Mint State 68. which is near flawless. Only a handful of these coins have ever received that high of a grade from a professional grading service, and that's why collectors go crazy for them. A coin that survived over 2 decades without a single major nick, scratch, or smudge. That's like winning the lottery in the coin world. Now you might be thinking, what are the chances I have one like that? Surprisingly higher than you'd expect. If you know what to look for, start with the basics. Pull out your 1999 D Georgia quarters. Check the reverse. You'll see the peach at the center, oak sprigs on either side, and a banner with the words, Wisdom, Justice, Moderation. That's Georgia's motto. Look for coins with bold, sharp lettering, deep luster, nowhere on the highest points. A true candidate for high grade must look like it was minted yesterday and stored with care ever since. And don't forget errors. Some 1999 D Georgia quarters have been found with minor double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These little imperfections can add hundreds to the value, so always inspect both sides carefully. Still with me? Good. Because if you do find a promising coin, don't rush to sell it. Here's the step-by-step plan. First, protect it. Don't clean it. Don't rub it. Just place it in a soft coin flip or capsule. Next, compare it to online listings from trusted coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. See what grade yours might earn. Then, if you're confident it's in top condition, send it in for professional grading. Yes, it costs money, but if you've got a winner, it'll be worth it. After grading, you've got options. You can list it through an auction house, post it on eBay, or connect with certified coin dealers who specialize in state quarters. But no matter what you do, don't ignore this coin, because people are tossing these away every day, not knowing they could be holding thousands. And if you're a serious collector, investor, buyer, or seller, and you actually care about real coin values without the hype, then you're in the right place. This is Rare Coin Collecting, where we bring you actual numismatic knowledge, backed by facts, sales history, and expert research. So hit that like button, subscribe for more real coin breakdowns, and let us know in the comments, have you checked your Georgia quarters lately? Because the next rare find could be right under your nose. You've probably heard rumors about a Georgia quarter that sold for a ridiculous amount of money. Some say hundreds, others say thousands, and a few bold voices even whisper numbers that sound more like lottery jackpots than coin sales. But here's the thing. This isn't just internet hype. A real 1999 Georgia state quarter, with the S mint mark, made of silver, has actually sold for a jaw-dropping price. No exaggeration. So how is it possible? Why would someone pay that much for a coin that's barely 25 years old? Let me break it down. First, this isn't just any Georgia quarter. It's the proof version struck at the San Francisco Mint. And more specifically, it's the silver proof, not the standard Clad version. That means this coin was minted with 90% silver content, designed for collectors only, not for circulation. But even that's not enough to make it wildly valuable. What really sets this coin apart is the condition. We're talking about near-perfect museum-grade condition, the kind that gets certified by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, and earns labels like PR69 or even PR70 Deep Cameo. And when one of those flawless examples hits the auction block, that's when things get crazy. Some of these coins, yes, the very same 1999 Georgia silver quarters have sold for 4 figures. Not once, not twice, but in multiple certified cases. Now think about that. A 25-cent coin, worth thousands. So where can you find one? Here's the part nobody talks about. These coins are often sitting in places people overlook. You might find one in a dusty proof set stored in your attic, basement, or even that locked wooden drawer in your grandfather's cabinet. Maybe an old coin album your parents tucked away and forgot. The silver proofs usually came in special collector sets, sold directly by the U.S. Mint around the year 1999. A lot of people bought those sets just as souvenirs, and then completely forgot about them. That's why I always tell people, don't just look through your loose change. Search your house. Search your family's house. Look through every coin box, envelope, and plastic case you can find. These sets are out there, and the silver Georgia quarter might just be sitting inside one. But listen, before you go thinking you've hit the jackpot, you've got to understand grading. A silver Georgia quarter that's scratched up, spotted, or mishandled, not worth much. But one in pristine condition, still sealed in its original plastic lens, or better yet, already slabbed and graded PR70, that's where the serious money is. And if you do find one in top shape, don't just throw it up on eBay. That's not how you sell a rare coin. Here's what you should do. First, get it graded by a reputable service. Go with PCGS or NGC. That grade will tell buyers exactly what your coin is worth, and it protects you from lowball offers. Second, research past sales. Look at auction results from Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stack's Bowers. These are the real marketplaces where collectors pay top dollar. And third, don't rush. Just because someone offers you a few $100 doesn't mean that's all it's worth. If your coin truly is rare and high grade, you could be sitting on something much bigger. Now, if all this sounds overwhelming, don't worry. That's exactly why this channel exists. Here at Rare Coin Collecting, we break down the truth. We don't hype up every coin just to get clicks. We show you what matters, what sells, what doesn't, and how to actually spot value. So if you're a collector, or someone just curious about what's hiding in your home, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment if you found a silver proof, quarter, or any interesting state coin. And check the pinned comment for our long-form videos breaking down other quarters, just like this one. And remember, there are 50 state quarters. Most are common, but a few can change your day, maybe even your life. Keep searching. They say the 1999p Connecticut quarter is worth thousands. Some people even claim it's selling for over $10,000. You've probably seen videos showing blurry images and throwing around numbers like 25 grand, maybe more. But is there any truth to that? Well, there is and there isn't. There are genuine cases where these Connecticut quarters have sold for hundreds, and in some very rare circumstances, even more. But here's the thing most people won't tell you. It's not just the date or the state. It's everything else that determines the value, the condition, the variety, the mint error, the grading. Let's walk through the facts, because you might actually have one of these quarters lying around, in a kitchen drawer, between couch cushions, in that old jar on the shelf, maybe even in a box of coins you inherited. The good news? This specific quarter does have versions that sold for serious money. But the bad news? Most people don't know what to look for. Let's start with the basics. The 1999p Connecticut State quarter was the last quarter released in the U.S. Mint's first year of the 50 State Quarters program, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. It features the famous charter, oak tree on the reverse, a symbol of Connecticut's history and independence. The detail is elegant, with strong branch lines and deep texturing if the strike is solid. Now, how many were made? The U.S. Mint struck over 688 million of the 1999p Connecticut quarters. That means they're not rare in the traditional sense. In fact, they're one of the more common state quarters. But here's where things get interesting. Common doesn't mean worthless. Not when it comes to coin collecting. What makes a Connecticut quarter valuable is not just the year or the mint mark. It's the errors and the grades. Let's talk grading first. If you happen to find a 1999p Connecticut quarter graded MS68 or higher, especially by PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at hundreds of dollars, possibly more. In one notable case, an MS68 example sold for over $1,600 at auction. That's right, a quarter sold for $1,600, just because it was in nearly perfect condition. And no, that doesn't mean yours will be. Most coins found in circulation won't grade above MS64, but it's possible. That's why you need to inspect your coins carefully. Look for sharp edges, no scratches, clean surfaces, and a strong strike. If it looks pristine, that's your first clue. Now let's talk about errors and varieties. Some 1999p Connecticut quarters show die cracks, especially around the tree branches. Others have off-center strikes or weak reverse strikes. These minting errors can bring added value, especially when certified. Another rare variety to watch for? Clad layering issues, and that's when the outer layer of nickel copper doesn't bond properly and flakes, revealing the copper core. Those are extremely scarce and collectors pay well for them. So what if you actually find one? Second, take clear photos, front and back. Good lighting, no filters. Third, get it appraised or graded professionally. PCGS and NGC are your best bets, and you can even submit coins through authorized dealers if you're new to the process. And finally, if it checks out as rare or high grade, consider listing it in an online auction, but only through trusted sites like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections, not shady marketplaces that flood you with fakes and hype. Let me remind you, the real money in this hobby is in knowledge, not guesses. Most coins you see going viral online are just ordinary coins being overhyped, but once in a while, There's truth behind the madness. And the Connecticut quarter? It's one of the few where that truth exists. So start digging. Look in your car's cup holder, that drawer in the kitchen, your grandpa's coin box. You'd be surprised where rare coins hide. They're not just in collections, they're in our homes waiting. And if you think you found something good, don't jump the gun. Learn the steps, understand grading, get it certified. That's how collectors become sellers. And how you avoid getting scammed by all the fakes and false promises out there. This is Rare Coin Collecting, where we break the hype and reveal what really matters in coin investing, collecting, buying, and selling. If you found this helpful and you're serious about coins, hit that like button. Leave a comment with what you found, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the truth behind the coins. Because we're just getting started. They say one quarter can't change your life, but what if I told you one silver coin, hiding in a forgotten drawer, has already sold for over $17,000? Yeah, that's right. A single 1999 Connecticut silver-proof quarter, $17,000. And yet, people walk past these coins every single day without realizing what they're holding. Here's the crazy part. Most of these are sitting in old proof sets, collecting dust in attics, abandoned in storage boxes, or hidden inside the belongings of someone who once collected coins but never told anyone. And every week some of these get listed online for pennies, because no one knows what to look for. Let me say this clearly. You are not wasting your time watching this video. If you ever find one of these silver-proof Connecticut quarters in pristine condition, especially if it's still in its original government packaging, you might be holding something far more valuable than spare change. But here's the catch. Not all Connecticut quarters are rare. Most of them, the ones from circulation, are worth just face value. So how do you know if you've got the right one? First, check the mint mark. It should be an S for San Francisco. That alone tells you it's a proof coin, not meant for circulation. But not all proof coins are created equal. There are Clad proof quarters and silver proof quarters. The 1999 Connecticut quarter we're talking about here is the silver version, 90% silver, and much more desirable to serious collectors. The silver proof has a sharper strike, mirror-like fields, and frosted raised designs. If yours looks dull or heavily scratched, it's not going to bring the big bucks. Now here's where things get serious. The $17,000 sale wasn't for just any proof quarter. It was graded by PCGS as PR70 DCAM. That means perfect condition. Deep cameo contrast, absolutely flawless under magnification. Less than a fraction of these coins ever grade that high. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I might have that coin at home. Good, that's the goal. Start checking your old coin albums. Look inside plastic coin holders. Check storage bins in your parents' garage. Dig into that box of your grandpa's collectibles. These silver proofs were sold in sets, often stored carefully. But even if you find one, don't just run to eBay and list it. First step, get it graded. PCGS or NGC. They're the two most trusted grading companies. If your coin comes back PR69 or PR70, now we're talking serious money. And don't fall for fake hype. There are tons of videos online claiming every Connecticut quarter is worth thousands. It's not true. Most of those are clickbait. But this channel, Rare Coin Collecting, is all about the truth, the real value, the real stories, and the real opportunities. Because yes, people really have turned a forgotten quarter into thousands of dollars. And it's not magic. It's knowing exactly what to look for. And remember this, condition is everything. If your coin has even one tiny nick, one fingerprint, or signs of handling, its value drops significantly. If you're lucky enough to find one, store it in a coin flip or capsule. Don't touch the surface. Don't clean it. Just protect it. Then, reach out to a professional. A coin dealer, an auction house, or a grading company. Don't rush. Do it right. Because finding the right coin is only the beginning. Knowing what to do next? That's what separates average collectors from serious treasure hunters. And here's one last thought. Even if you don't find the $17,000 coin, building your knowledge makes you dangerous. Because the next time you're at a garage sale or flipping through a bag of coins at a thrift store, you'll know what others miss. Stay sharp, stay curious, and stay with us on Rare Coin Collecting, where we dig through history, truth, and real value, one coin at a time. If you're a coin investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about knowing what actually matters, then this channel is made for you. We're on a mission to spread real, authentic coin knowledge. No hype, no clickbait. Now go check your proof sets. That Connecticut quarter could still be out there, and it might just change everything. People are saying this 1999. Connecticut quarter with a D mint mark is worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But is that really true? Well, yes and no. Let me explain. Because if you've got one of these quarters sitting quietly in a drawer, a coin jar maybe buried deep in a purse from the late 90s, you might be in for a surprise. But before you get too excited, we need to get serious. This isn't about hype. This is about real coin value. Let's go back to the beginning. The year was 1999. The U.S. Mint launched the legendary 50 state quarters program. Connecticut was the fifth coin released, featuring the iconic charter oak, a symbol of American resistance, strength, and rebellion. Now the Denver Mint struck over 400 million of these Connecticut quarters. That's right, 400 million. So why are people talking about insane values? Because it's never just about the coin. It's about the condition, the rarity, and what the collectors call the grade. Let's get into the truth. In circulated condition, meaning the kind of coin you find in your pocket, most 1999 Connecticut quarters are only worth face value, a quarter, 25 cents. But in uncirculated condition, pristine coins that look like they were struck yesterday, that's when things get interesting. Some of these quarters, graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, have actually sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, in rare cases even more. And yes, that's a real price, real collectors, real money changing hands. One example, an MS68 Connecticut D quarter sold for a stunning amount because it was nearly flawless. That level of perfection is extremely rare for a coin minted in the hundreds of millions. But that's not all. There are also errors and varieties, coins that were struck off center, with die cracks, doubling, or weak strikes. These kinds of errors can dramatically increase value, depending on how unique they are. Imagine finding one of those in your house, and I mean that literally. These coins are still out there, hiding in old wallets, rolled up in paper tubes, tucked in the corners of dresser drawers, even inside your car's glove box. I'm talking garages, basements, toolboxes, junk drawers, anywhere spare change goes to be forgotten. So here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark. You're hunting for the D mark, located right under the word, "In God We Trust," on the front of the coin. Second, check the condition. Is it shiny? No scratches? No discoloration or damage? That's a good sign. Third, flip it. Look at the charter oak design on the back. Any weird lines? Doubling? Weak details? That might be an error coin. And once you think you've found something special, do not clean the coin. That's one of the biggest mistakes new collectors make. Cleaning a coin can actually destroy its value. Instead, here's what you should do. Take a clear, well-lit photo of both sides. Use a soft surface. A dark towel or clean table works great. Then visit a trusted coin grading service. PCGS and NGC are the industry standards. You can submit the coin for grading, and if it comes back with a high grade, like MS66, MS67, or MS68, you could be holding a serious asset. And don't forget, even lower grade coins, if they have rare errors, can be worth more than you think. Now, let's be real. Not every 1999 D Connecticut quarter is valuable, but the chance that yours might be, that's worth a look. And the only way to know is to check, to search, to look deeper. Because this hobby isn't just about flipping coins for cash. It's about history. It's about attention to detail. It's about the thrill of discovery and the story behind every coin. And if you find one, don't just run to eBay. Take your time. Get it graded. Consult with real dealers or collectors. Join coin groups. Learn the language. Because knowledge is value. And on this channel, Rare Coin Collecting, that's our mission. To give you the real facts without hype or clickbait. So if you're a collector, investor, buyer, or seller, and you want to understand what actually matters in the world of coins, this is the place to be. Check your pockets, check your old drawers, and check the pinned comment and description. I've linked a full video breaking down the Connecticut Quarter series, including errors, grading tips, and how to sell your coins the right way. You might be holding more than just a quarter, but you'll never know unless you look.